Hi, I'm Mattilda Bernstein Sycamore, and I'm here at City Lights Bookstore to celebrate the exciting 60th anniversary. I'm so excited to be a part of it. And I remember when I first came to City Lights, when I moved to San Francisco in the early 90s, and I was 19 and I was searching for other queer freaks and outsiders and outcasts and dropouts and anarchists and activists and druggies and other kinds of creative experimentators. And as a writer, of course, one of the first places I came to was the legendary City Lights Bookstore. And I remember being immediately captivated by a series of books that City Lights was participating in at that point, and they were called the High Risk books, edited by Amy Shoulder and Ira Silverberg. And each of the High Risk books had a really, the covers were all designed in this way, so they were split. So there was one image at the top and the other image at the bottom, and the two images would contrast with one another. And I just loved those covers, and so I was really drawn actually visually into the visual experimentation, into looking at these books that were also sort of politically incendiary and sexually exploratory and stylistically innovative. And just like me, I hoped, right? And so, so basically anytime a new high-risk book came out, I would immediately just grab it. And some of them I loved, some of them I hated, and some of them I found challenging and enlightening at the same time. And it's funny, I mean, one of the few pieces of wisdom that I ever got from my abusive family, you know, growing up as a kid, you know, I wanted to be a writer. And I was told by my parents and by their parents that, you know, usually the best writers never got published. And so the one good thing, that was great to hear because I was liberated of that need to have publishing tied, you know, to my self-worth. And so I was really excited about writing, and I felt like I was a writer, but publishing was not the most important thing. But seeing those books, I always sort of fantasized. I was like, one day I want my own high-risk book too. But I wasn't attached to it. I was like, okay, that's never gonna happen. And I don't care, you know, and I don't care. And but now, 20 years later, you know, or starting 15 years later, up to the present, I guess I too can be part of that City Lights legacy. Starting with my novel So Many Ways to Sleep Badly, and then continuing today with my book The End of San Francisco, which is certainly taking risks of its own, and so I'm so glad to be part of this legacy of risk takers. So let's keep on taking those risks.